Go on, put sorry.
Good evening, welcome along to the Dog and Parrot. As always, we've got the living legend, Supermac. Put your hands together. Well, welcome, Newcastle United. The unbeaten run continues.
Got a real fan up there.
At Old Trafford. Talk us through that. What was your views on that?
I thought Man U were rather lucky, to be quite honest. Joe Linton hitting the post twice in a matter of a second. That if that had gone in, I think that the heads would have dropped totally of the Man United side. But overall, you know, again we've got a clean sheet. Newcastle have now got the best defensive record in the Premiership so far this season. What a difference from the 60 we let in last season and the 80 the season before. Incredible. So, you know, it's happening all so quickly, all in a bum's rush. And instead of it going a bit too quick, a bit too far for the players, they're absolutely loving it. They are loving it and keeping up with that pace. And so I thought that Newcastle, if one of those chances of Joe Linton's had gone in, I think that would have been 3 points up on the board. But, okay, beggars can't be choosers. Let's just enjoy the point that we got at Old Trafford. And the fact, another clean sheet, and we were, I felt, the better side over the 90 minutes. And so we were rather unfortunate. Let's hope we can really take it out tonight on Everton.
No, it's okay. Just wondering where, is that the Newcastle have named an unchanged team from the 0-0 draw at Manchester United. That's according to Keith Downey. So there we go, unchanged team. There you are. Thanks, mate. There you are. Good stuff, lads. Yes, as you leave. Anyway, so I just want to ask you about the game itself, and we should have had a penalty, man.
Yeah, I thought so. But it seems referees don't like Newcastle these days. That they've joined the so-called top six, and are all very much against us. And I think that we're going to have to just weather that for a season or two. But the players seem to take it in their stride, which is good. I am delighted that the team is unchanged tonight, because I felt that, you know, the back line, the defence, they really are looking so good, so organised, and in all fairness, Eddie Howe, if he was going to drop anybody, it was going to be Byrne being left out for the Man United game. He had a bit of a stinker in the previous game here at St James Park. But Eddie Howe, he's stuck with him, and he seems to know exactly what he wants in his head. And it's a shame for Target, I have to say, but when you've got a defence playing like Newcastle's at the moment, and it's them that are creating this run where we've got the best defensive record, it's down to the four that are playing in the defence right now. And well, it's absolutely fantastic, because what it does is it gives the forwards so much more confidence, knowing that they're not going to have to chase the game. You know, that there aren't goals going in at the other end all the while, as there have been for the last heaven knows how many years. That all of a sudden, the players, they haven't got a pressure on them up front, and they can get into the opposing penalty area. Look at how, and the fact that Wilson has been put into the side now after injury, what a change it's made to Almiron. Instead of him making blind runs to the corner flag every time, he's cutting in now, and he's looking to want to go and play with Wilson as a target man. inside the penalty area, and he's become dangerous now. All of a sudden, you can't be dangerous out by the corner flag, for heaven's sake. But he's wanting to get in line with a goal, and of course, goals will come his way. Chances will offer themselves, and that's the same. Murphy's getting into the box as well. All of a sudden, from leaving an empty penalty area, Wilson's come into the side, changed it all. He's not only changed how we play, but he's changed the attitude of the other players around him. And well done, Wilson. He hasn't scored. I'll tell you what, tonight, he is going to be so desperate to get out there and get on the score sheet. So I can see him having one hell of a game tonight.
Another appointment off the pitch. Silverstone's come in. Is he the man to get us into pole position and keep us on the right track?
Well, let's see how he does. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to just leave it there in order to settle in the room on that one.
We have the checkered flag there, have we? Everton are in town. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the team tonight. Anthony Gordon's back from suspension. I mean, I was down at Goodison last season when Newcastle were dominating until somebody tied themselves to the post for half an hour. And then Anthony Gordon, of course, went on and got the winner. They're usually good games, these, but how important is Calvert-Lewin and Gordon going to be to Everton tonight?
They're going to be vitally important, I would think, because against Spurs, Everton never had a shot at goal. And they didn't look as if they were ever going to make one. And yet, for long periods of the game, they had the better of the possession. But that was just in the first two thirds. Once they got into the last third, it all fell apart for them. And so I will be so disappointed if Everton actually score tonight. I really will. I've sort of, if I was a betting man, I would put money on Newcastle getting a clean sheet. And with Chris Wilson, you know, I've just mentioned, he's gone 2 games without scoring. He's going to be bloody livid with himself. He's wanting to go out there and go and murder the opposition. And so, and if others join in and support him in the right way, I can see us scoring goals, but at the same time, we've got the best defence in the Premiership right now, and I can't see Everton scoring against them at all.
Before I ask you a prediction, just want to ask you about Isak and ASM, both out, injured. It sounds worse than it is, because they say they're not going to play until after the World Cup. We've only got 5 games now. ASM's probably going to play before the World Cup, I would say. Anyhow, might be penciling that cup game against Crystal Palace to at least have him available. Isak, of course, has been unlucky, got injured on international duty, but he's not going to be back with Boxing Day. It's a blow, but it's not. It's been softened a little bit by Wilson and Bruno and Shelby coming back into the mix now.
Yeah, I don't know so much about Shelby. I think he's so unsuited to what Newcastle are doing right now. He's just said that Al loves him, but Shelby's very, very slow, and I don't think that he can create a partnership with Bruno, and that is the one thing we need. We need somebody to create that relationship with Bruno and really start turning it on in midfield. And just reading when Bruno goes forward, and so that so that other midfield player just drops off, covers for him, and sorts it all out. Shelby is a very selfish player. He plays for himself, not for the others, not for the team. And so I've got to. I really do have a major question mark over him. I look at Isaac and St. Maximin. Okay, so they're out, but others have come in and they've done really well. And I know that Murphy isn't the most popular of players, but I still think he's probably the best crosser of all in the club. And now that Wilson's in there, I can see Murphy and Wilson starting just to team up a bit, and chances being created between the two of them. And also, with Wilson coming back in the side, Almiron looks a different player, totally different. And so, let them really go for it, and then it's up to Maximin and Isaacson come Christmas to see if they can get back in the side. Now, prediction for tonight, I will be devastated if Everton score. In fact, because also what we haven't mentioned is that this is the battle of the two England goalkeepers. And the the problem is that I don't think that Pope will be busy enough to impress anybody. But the fella at the other end, he is going to be a busy lad. Of that, I'm pretty convinced.
With the crowd,
and get the crowd on his back. That's the way to do it. So I think we've got a really interesting battle at both ends of the pitch tonight. Plus, let's see the defence at work, doing their best yet again. And then how does the supply come into Wilson? It's going to be a fascinating game tonight. I'm going to take Newcastle to score a few tonight, and I'll say 3-0. And I hope that they do put a performance on for everybody.
Malcolm will be in after the game. I'm going to come round. There's not many in, so you've got a chance of winning to do the raffle ticket for the signed Supermac programme. It's from 1972, Coventry City. So I'll come round, £2 a strip, 3 for a fiver. I've also had a request, Malcolm, because a little dicky bird tells me that it's the manager's birthday, Darren. So, would you mind saying happy birthday to Darren, who is sitting over there?
Darren, very happy birthday indeed. Oh, well done. Have you decided to take your pension this year? I jest. No, have a great night. Yeah, lovely.
And I think what we should do is sing happy birthday to Darren. So, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Darren. Happy birthday to you. Well done, Darren. Happy birthday. Have a good night. Supermac will be back after the game. Put your hands together for Supermac.